When Idaho lawmakers passed and Governor Little signed the abortion trafficking bill this past legislative session, the one that makes it illegal for an adult to take a child out of state to get an abortion without her parents' permission, well, immediately there were questions about what it meant, how it would be applied, and how it would be enforced. Not to mention the constitutional issues brought up about interstate commerce and travel. We heard some of those concerns this week when we spoke with one of the people who filed a lawsuit against the law. But the bill's sponsor, Republican Representative Barbara Ehart, today told Joe Paris those concerns about confusion and how that can be kind of frustrating for some groups in Idaho, well, that was intentional.
A major court battle is set for Idaho's new abortion trafficking law.
I don't think I was surprised.
Bill sponsor, Representative Barbara Ehart, saw the suit coming. She knows advocacy groups were ready to challenge it, but she maintains it's good and legal legislation.
This legislation is all about parental rights, and so the arguments that they're conjuring up against it really are out in center field, in my opinion.
Critics, like House Minority Leader Representative Alana Rubel, believe that the law is a major stretch. We spoke with Rubel the day the suit was filed.
This law is so vague. It says that you can't harbor, recruit, or transport a minor who's seeking an abortion. Well, I have no idea what recruiting or harboring means.
I think it's a cop-out because pretty much what's being said here is that you cannot take a child and take them across the border without the parents' permission. One of the things I've been saying in some of my other interviews, I'm reminding people that in any other circumstance, we would call this kidnapping. And I don't know what makes people think that they would have the right to take that child someplace else unbeknownst to the parents. It just simply does not make sense to me.
Critics of the new law believe it goes too far in the sense that it criminalizes free travel across Idaho.
That is such a stretch. That is in my opinion, I don't know what else to say except that's a silly argument. It doesn't criminalize travel. It criminalizes the taking of a child without parental permission. That's what it does. So, I mean, it's as simple as that. And they're stretching to try to confuse and conflate the issue. No, the issue is simple. Don't take a child without a parent's permission.
Ehart says, to be very clear, the law fully allows a family to make the decision to leave Idaho for an abortion, giving several options that just need to involve parental permission.
That's not what this bill is about. It is all about parental rights. It also doesn't prevent the parents from ceding their authority, say to a grandparent or an aunt or uncle or someone, to take that child and ceding that authority to allow them to go get the abortion. That can all be done.
Those questioning the law touch on hypothetical situations, like if a minor was sent in an Uber from Boise to Oregon to seek an abortion. Would the Uber driver be on the hook for a 2 to 5 year prison sentence?
The Uber driver has no idea. He's not the one that's going to be held responsible. It's those who arranged to send the Uber driver. I mean, let's be honest. Those who are behind the crime are the ones that will be responsible. And if there's any question about that, I guarantee you we'll fix it next year. In my mind, there's no question. The Uber driver is not responsible, but those who arranged for it would be.
Ehart says she knows the new law is frustrating to the operations of the groups who filed the lawsuit. It's a major part of the point of it.
I know this is upsetting to them because it's really changing their practice and what they're able to do. And it's designed that way. Idaho is a state that values life. And again, have those conversations with the parents. Parents still are going to want to have their child. If they get pregnant, they're not going to want to have that child carry another child. I get it. So have that conversation with those who want to have the conversation.
The law, to Representative Ehart, falls in line with other Idaho parental rights concepts.
It's another parental rights piece of legislation, and it just baffles me that anyone would think that somehow they would have the power outside of the consent of the parents to be able to take a child to get an abortion. That's just absolutely absurd.
So this is going to be a very interesting conversation, not only here in Idaho, but likely from coast to coast. In my conversation with Representative Ehart, she confirmed some of the murmurings that I had heard. Yes, there are other states that are watching Idaho to see if this law, the abortion trafficking law, holds up to a legal test. Because, Brian, to be frank, there are other states that say if Idaho is able to do this and it looks like it's on the up and up, or if they have to change the law some way, there are other states that would probably have the exact same law put on their books as well. So there's a lot of interest on Idaho as they're seems to be over the last several years. Ideas, concepts seem to be tested out here. They go through a legal challenge. At this point, though, we don't know what the end result will be.
Idaho is the first state to pass such a law. This isn't the first time that Idaho would be a litmus test. Barbara Ehart, Representative Ehart, was on the sponsorship side of the transgender athlete bill as well. Idaho being the first to pass that, and several other states have since passed it, although that one is still tied up in court.
Yeah, and sometimes this takes years. I mean, there's no guarantee that this law is going to have an answer through the courts in the near future. I mean, these are very complicated legal matters that deal with the Constitution, stuff like that. So we'll definitely be following it here.
One more case still in court in Idaho. All right, thanks, Joe.